Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the video series. Today we got a pretty fun video because we're going to do facial recognition technology today. Amazon has a product called AWS Recognition, and it's a pretty cool deal here. Basically, what we're going to use it to do is upload some images to Amazon S3, their simple storage service, and we are going to index the faces in those files so that we can search for people using only their face. So it should be pretty fun, enlightening, because I've never done anything like this before, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I've got the documentation pulled up here, and then I've also got my AWS, the AWS console here and the documentation here. Never done this before, like I said, so we're going to start a new project here, and we can call this faces or something. We're going to do this using Node, by the way, guys, today, just because it's so simple to use Node. And this is going to be a really simple project. Node's pretty powerful in that sense. So what do we want to do? So we want to upload, we want to use facial analysis, yeah. Where are these use cases for images? And they just added the video, live video indexing, which is pretty cool. So now you can index faces and videos. Not bad. They did that at the reInvent event, which is something I think I'll cover in a video soon, because I kind of want to go over all the cool new things that came out at their reInvent conference in Vegas recently. Here we go. Face-based user verification. No, we don't want that one. Facial recognition. Using the index faces API function. So that's the index faces API is what we're going to use. Right. Okay. Cool. So let's get into that then. So I'm going to head over to I'm trying to find out where the documentation is, the developer documentation. There we go, developer guide. Okay, so we want searching faces in a collection. Alright, so it says here that Amazon Recognition can store information about detected faces in server-side containers known as collections. You can use the facial information stored in a collection to search for known faces and images, stored videos, and streaming videos. Really cool. Amazon Recognition supports the index faces operation, which you can use to detect faces in an image and persist information about facial feature detection into a collection. Okay. This is an example of a storage-based API operation because the service persists information on the server. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is use this create collection command with some photos of people's faces, and we're going to be able to index the people's faces on that. Hey, Louise, good morning. So after we've created that collection and stored some images, we're going to be able to use the search faces by image service there to search against that database that we created. So let's go ahead and start a collection, I guess. Let's see. So we can create a collection. What is this? This is the response here. So this would be using the command line interface, I think. I guess we can do that for now, for just creating the collection. So let's go ahead. I've already got the AWS tool installed here, I think. but you'll probably want to install that if you don't already have it. And then, what was it, create collection? I'm not quite sure the syntax of this command. Okay, cool, we got it, yeah. Creates a collection in an AWS region. You can add faces to the collection using the operation. For example, you might create collections, yeah. Okay, give me an example here. Oh, so we give it a collection ID. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna create a collection. What should we call it? We'll call it YouTubers. AWS create collection YouTubers. Okay, it looks like we need to specify the collection ID argument here. There we go, we got status code 200, so it looks like things probably worked. Let's look at the other commands here in Amazon's recognition tool on the command line. Recognition. We can do that by using the help command of AWS Recognition. So we can compare faces, which is something we might want to do in the future. Delete faces, detect faces, get celebrity info. That's cool. We don't need to store information about celebrities. That already works. Help index faces. This is the one we're going to use next, is index faces probably. Of course, after we upload the faces. So looks like that's all the commands we have. So let's take a look at index faces help and see what we can do here. So this one detects faces in the input image and adds them to the specified collection. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what we want. Does not save the actual faces detected. It saves the underlying. Okay. So what AWS Recognition does when we run this index faces command is basically it creates a thumbprint of the faces that we can search against using some kind of math, probably. Way above our heads. But it does it all for us, so we don't have to think of the math. Let's see. So we give it an ID and an image. It looks like the input image is bytes or an S3 object. Okay. And I want to know if we can do this really through an API. That would be ideal. Let's see if we have the AWS JavaScript SDK here. This is for the browser, but we want it for Node because we're going to be running this in the back end. Okay, cool. So we're going to start a Node project now then. And we are going to, in the Node project, we're going to search for our faces. So I'm going to go ahead into our faces project here and start an npm project. Yeah, I'm just going to leave defaults here. And we are going to run that npm install aws sdk, which is going to give us the libraries we need, hopefully, unless Rekognition's too new and it's not in there yet, to use the faces or the index faces API. So let's go in here. We're popping into the AWS SDK, and I just want to make sure that we have Rekognition in here. Yeah, so I think if we did have Rekognition, I'm looking through the Node module package just to see if there's a file called Rekognition in here, and there is. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to use Rekognition through our Node app. So that's good. So let's start by creating an index.js file, and this is going to be the entry point to our application. And we are going to import using require. Whoops, wrong language. We're going to import Rekognition. Let's see. So what do we have here? Module exports lib AWS. Let's see how we import our Rekognition module. AWS node Rekognition. There we go. Looks like it's that simple. We're gonna have to import AWS, obviously. So let's just give that a shot then. So we're going to need to require from our index here AWS equals require AWS SDK. And then we get the Rekognition service by declaring a variable and using this command here. Okay, so now we should be able to take a look at our collection maybe. Let's see what we want. Detect faces. No, we want index faces, right? Cool, and it gives us an example command right here that we can use. We can copy this whole bit here. So I've gone to the AWS docs for the node SDK, and I'm just going to copy this index faces command here and paste it into our IDE. So this is the kind of response that we would get back, it looks like. So we can use this to kind of mock out our response handler. We'll just cut that for now so we can see the usage of this. So, okay, so we're going to give it our collection ID, which if you remember before, our collection ID was YouTubers. And oh, it looks like we need to upload an image before we search against it, because I think our image ID maybe we get after we upload the image. Oh, maybe not. What is this external image ID? ID you want to assign to all the faces detected in the... Okay, so we give this... this would be an ID. Okay. Interesting. So this is our name for the ID. All right. Or sorry, our ID for the image. ABC. We are going to change that probably in the future, but we don't need to right now. And then we need to upload some images to an S3 bucket, I guess. And I've already created an S3 bucket, but the process is pretty simple. We've done it in other videos before, so I'm not going to go into detail about how to do it right now. I've got this face photos recognition bucket here with completely default settings. I didn't have to change anything. I just created the bucket with the name and just clicked next, 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 next until that was ready to go. So let's upload an image here. And let's see here. We're going to go to YouTube real quick and take this image here. Copy link address. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Let's just go to Google Images maybe. And YouTubers. Okay, this guy's famous. I've seen him before. So we're going to copy that image address there and just make sure that that works, and it does. Oh, interesting. That's a data tag, though. I guess we'll save it. What was that guy's name? PewDiePie? So we are going to upload that image to our S3 bucket. And click Next. We don't need public access because we're going to be using an API key to reach our image here. And I'm going to click on the image, and this link right here is going to be, oh, I guess we don't even need the link. I guess we could just give it the bucket name and the image name, which are going to be the last two pieces of this link right here. So we're going to go here, plug in our bucket, which is Face Photos Recognition, kind of an ugly long-winded name, I know. And then the name of our object here, which is PewDiePie.jpg. The other thing we're going to have to do, I think, is authenticate with, we're going to need to plug in our credentials here, possibly. Hopefully not. Because if I do, I'm going to need to create a new IAM key because I don't want to share my master credentials with you guys. Let's just try and run this right now. And I'm going to try running it through the IDE, and let's just see what happens. Maybe this is going to work, maybe it's not. What are we doing here? We are doing index faces. Yeah. Missing region in config. Yeah. Let's see, how do we, let's see, I want to find out how we set the region for the AWS SDK for Node SDK. Yeah, so I guess we have to configure region. Region's not in here. AWS Node SDK set region, because our console's complaining about that. Setting the region. There we go. Okay. It's that easy, maybe. And of course, you're going to need to set it to whatever region you're using. I'm using US East 1 because that's the cheapest, I think. Okay, so let's run that again. And hey, okay, this is good. Okay, so a problem is yeah, I guess I would need to input my AWS access key in secret, so I am going to make the contents of this bucket public. And especially that one object. Unable to get object metadata from S3. Check object. Need to go back to this bucket here and public access everyone, list objects, not write objects, read bucket permissions. See how that works. Hopefully we don't need to set up bucket policy. We're gonna have to search for this error because I don't know if we need to add a special IAM permission for the AWS Node SDK to access the metadata. But that could be. Just reading through the docs here. System defined metadata. Interesting. Are we in the right region here? S3 does not require region selection, huh? Maybe we will create a new folder. It says it's public bucket. AWS bucket policy for recognition. Man, it's brutal. The error we are getting is invalid S3 object exception, unable to get object metadata from S3. Check the object key, region, and/or access permissions. Maybe what I can do is off screen really quick. I will create like a config file. I'm going to create a JSON object with my access key and secret in it. I just can't show those on camera. Sorry, guys. So I'm copying my credentials right now to sites faces. Then I'm going to open that faces file. I am right now just converting the file format to JSON, basically. Should just be one more second. I think that looks valid. I need a colon there. Okay, so now I have this credentials file here, which you guys cannot see. Oh, I need to make that, we're going to call it credentials.json. Okay, and now we've got this credentials.json. We're going to require that. So for you guys, what you would do is take your AWS access key and secret key and do the same thing. You would create a JSON file with the credentials. So now we have the creds, and we need to see how to authenticate. AWS node SDK auth, setting credentials. We have this. Getting your credentials. Setting credentials. Loaded from JSON file on disk. How do we do that? Yeah, okay, cool. So, oh, okay, I just need to rename the fields in my JSON object here. So I'm going to name the access key field access key ID, upper or lower camel case, and then I'm going to also rename the secret access key, and then it looks like we can just run this. So we are going to load from credentials JSON there, and maybe now it's going to work. Oh. Didn't format my, oh. This is tougher than it looks without an ID. Okay, come on. Okay, so we still can't get that metadata, so check the object key, region, and/or access permissions. So now I'm using my master key here, so I should have access to everything. So I don't know what the deal is. Let's take a look at the other commands. So I'm going to look at AWS Recognition here. Recognition. And see if there's a special command to upload an image or something like that. List collections. Let's see if this gives us any details we can use. Yeah, so we've got this collection called YouTubers. That's right. What if we just do detect faces? And we give that image the image which you want to detect faces. So we give that an S3 YouTubers PewDiePie.jpg, I believe was the name of our S3 object. Just make sure real quick. Yeah, PewDiePie.jpg. Need to pass that image flag again. Maybe once. Real finicky about the format of this command. So I'm just kind of cycling through. Expected equal. Let's get an example usage of this command, I guess. This one. Give me an example here, please. The input image is a base 64 encoded bytes or an S3 object. So let's use the AWS S3 command, I guess, and list our objects in the detect faces access denied. Oh, that's not the name of the bucket. The name of the bucket is this right here, face photos recognition. So there's our image right there. Does ls have a verbose flag or anything like that? This is the bucket name we're using right here, and the name of the file there. Let's try and randomize this external image ID so there's no collisions. Unable. It says we're unable to get object metadata from S3. I don't know what the deal is. Detect labels, image, bucket name. Does the bucket have any dots in it? No, but our image does. Created a new bucket with no dots and everything worked. But surely, I mean, .jpg would be fine. They've got to allow for file extensions or it wouldn't really work very well. Bucket policy for list metadata S3. Each Amazon S3 object has a key, a data key, and metadata. Meta. Amazon maintains a set of system metadata. Yeah. You can also assign metadata to the object. You provide optional information as a name value key pair. The put request header is limited to 8 kilobytes in size. Let's see if S3 has a command that deals in metadata. No? Doesn't look like it. I don't see anything about metadata in the command line interface. Okay, metadata here. Metadata is a set. Let's just add metadata real quick. Can we? Why can't we edit the metadata? Let's create a new image a little more slowly, maybe. So we click on the metadata, and it says the content type right here. So this has metadata. Metadata is a set of key value pairs. What is storage class? No. AWS S3 list metadata. Head object. What is this? Without returning the object itself. Bucket key. So gonna have. Alright, so we're gonna use this and see if we can't get the metadata using this AWS S3 API head object service here. So this is our bucket, our key, codepy.jpg. Okay, what does this say? So we got our content type here just fine. But for some reason we're not getting it through our Node app here. Our collection ID is YouTubers, right? Unable to get object metadata. Checked object key. Invalid S3 object. What if we use the full name like this? Maybe. No. Detection attributes, collection ID, YouTubers. I don't know why that's not working. Let's try and do this from the command line interface again. So we've got AWS Recognition, detect faces, and then we just give it an image. Uh, da, 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 da. Why would that be an issue? Does it need to be escaped or something? Man, this is a terrible API. It's not easy to use. So I don't know what the deal is here. Why isn't it giving me an example? I don't know if I have like an old version of the command line interface, but that wouldn't explain why the node version's not working. So it's probably not that. Error parsing parameter image. Oh man, that's brutal, guys. I mean, if you guys want to skip through the video, if you're watching this on playback, skip through all this. I'm gonna figure this stuff out, so I don't want to waste your time while you're watching me stumble around trying to figure out this weird API. But I do like to do things live. Just for the purposes of walking people through how you would debug these weird problems that you're going to run into. Unable to use dash option value. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, what the heck? Okay. Maybe this is how we do it here. All right. Refer to this documentation. Nobody's got time for that. Okay, let's try passing our image in this format. So I guess it wants a JSON object is the format of the image argument, which I don't remember seeing documented anywhere, but maybe it was. And then we'll copy that. So that's why I was trying to parse this as JSON, and that was not working. Enclosed in double quotes. Unable to get object metadata from S3. We're still having that issue. Let's just do, I want to, so we downloaded that file. Do we? No. We don't have that file. Let's just download this file and let's upload it through the command line interface and see what we get. So we've got PewDiePie.jpg here in our downloads, and then we're going to go ahead and do AWS S3 CP. No. I need the name of the bucket. So we're going to upload our local file, which is downloads / PewDiePie up to our S3 bucket. Okay. And then let's list out the files we have in there. It's still, we have PewDiePie. Let's change the file name. So I'm going to rerun this command here, except call it PewDiePie2. PewDiePie2.jpg, if we can do that. List out the files again, and there's our PewDiePie2. It's the same size, obviously, but different creation dates. And now we're going to try to do that detect faces command with PewDiePie2. It's weird, it doesn't save your command line history. Oh man, that's, dude, unable to get object metadata from S3. We're running into the same error again, even when we've done this through the command line interface. I guess we're gonna have to really look into this one error. I don't think it's a problem with us, maybe. Exact bucket name in command. It seems to use dot extensions. In my case, making sure that the S3 bucket was in US West 2, and that was the region I explicitly called on the command line interface. So let's go take a look. We need to make sure they're in the same region. Aws Recognition. So this one is in, oh, it's in US West 2. Oh no. Oh, that's gross, guys. Yeah, okay, so we were in the wrong region, and for that I am sorry. Hopefully you guys skipped through this if you're not watching live. Sorry, Louise. Where do we even see the region configuration here? Oh, this is gross. Look at this. How do we set, let's create a new bucket. Region. We want US East. And that's North Virginia for US East 1, I think. I don't know why it doesn't tell us. YouTubers, YouTuber faces, whatever. Next. I forgot that S3 buckets have regions, so that's lovely. We do want public read, or we don't. Nah, we don't need public read. Next. So this is going in US East, North Virginia. And now, let's upload our image to YouTuber faces instead. See, it's weird because the command line interface for S3 doesn't care about the region because a bucket name has to be unique across all the regions. But the Rekognition detect faces command does care. Probably made by different developers. I don't know. YouTuber faces. Oh, looks like it might be doing something. Hey guys, we got the faces. So that's pretty cool. Let's add the. Let's try the index faces command. Let's see. Collection ID is required. Collection ID YouTubers. Alright, it looks like it indexed our face. So let's go take a look. We are in YouTuber faces. And we can click on this image here and look at its properties. One metadata. Which not sure where it stores the metadata. Maybe in the collection itself. Anyways, so that's good. So we've indexed our face there. And now we want to search, I guess, against that face. Let's see what else we can do. So now we're going to go back to the recognition docs. Searching faces in a collection. Cool. So we can, I guess, use that same photo to just search for the face real quick, just to see that, to get the syntax right. So this is detecting faces. Searching faces is what we want to do. So we store, how do we store a face? After you create a face collection, you can store faces in it. Aws Recognition provides the index faces operation that can detect faces in the input image. And I think that's, we did use the index faces command. And metadata for each face includes a bounding box, confidence level that the bounding box contains a face. ID is assigned by Amazon Recognition, and an external image ID if you provided it in the request. The information is returned to you in the response to the index faces API call. The service returns this metadata in response to the following API calls: list faces and the search faces operation. And we are going to use the search faces operation. And the docs for that are here. Okay, so after you create a face collection on store face, you can search a face collection for face matches. Given face ID, search face with a given image, which is what we're going to do probably. So someone would like upload an image, and we would then use that image to search for faces. Has two face operations. Let's see. Okay, so I guess we can do, let's take a look. What happens if we do need to figure out what that command looks like. So I'm in the command line interface. We are going to do this all in Node at some point in this video or video series. But right now I just want to get a proof of concept working. So it is the search faces command, because we've already indexed our face. For a given input face ID, searches for matching faces in the collection the face belongs to. Oh, so we have to give it a face ID, images without indexing faces, by using the search faces by image operation. Okay. Okay, for a given input image, yeah. The image has bytes or an S3 object, it looks like. Hold on, I think Todd wants in. Todd? Maybe not. Okay. Todd is my dog. Okay, so we can use another S3 object, I guess. So let's upload another S3 object. We're going to get an image of PewDiePie, and that's one. So we are going to save that image. We'll call it PewDiePie 3, and that is upper camel case. And then I'm going to upload that image again to the PewDiePie 3. Is that .jpeg? That is .jpg. And we're going to upload that to our YouTuber Faces bucket. Where do we download that to? Oh, it's on the desktop. Alright, so that image is up. And now we're going to run that command we just discovered there. Search faces. We're going to use that, we'll use the second image. So we're going to search for faces using that S3 object, the last one that we just uploaded, because we indexed the first one. And we got to specify this collection ID, YouTubers. We didn't get that quite right. Was the search faces by image command as well. Unable to get object metadata. Maybe another region. Issue. Let's list our collections here. We have YouTubers. Did we get this all right? AWS S3 LS YouTuber faces. Maybe we can specify a region. When calling search face, but unable to get object metadata from S3, check object key, region and/or access permissions. Let's do the that index faces command again on this new image. Able to get object metadata from S3, so something's wrong with our path probably. That is the name of the file here. I want this. Okay, yeah, so I just needed to copy that and somehow we spelled that file name wrong, it looks like. Nice, I'm glad we didn't have to spend another half hour debugging the command. And I lost my copy. Okay, that's index faces. We want to do search faces. Do we want to do search faces by image? Yeah, look at that. We got our face. Okay, so we searched the faces by image, and so it says it found this face at these positions in the image here. And yeah, so it gives us this box around the face inside of the image. And it's a 99.99999% sure that this is the same face, even though they are different images. So that's really cool. And it found the face matches. It looks like it found it because we indexed both images. We found both of those faces. So that this similarity is 100%, and that is because it's the same image, right? That was the second image we uploaded, which is the same image we're searching against. And the second image is probably the first image. So we're able to search by face now, which is pretty cool. Let's add a few more images, or let's search by another face real quick just to show what a failed search would look like. Let's see, YouTuber. Let's get this guy, I guess. How do we, let's see, save image as, who is this guy? Do we know? I don't know. YouTuber guy. And I think we do need to do something about storing the external image ID, I think. Maybe. And then we will save this one, YouTuber girl. So we have YouTuber guy and YouTuber girl here. And let's search images. Well, first off, I guess we're going to need to upload those to our collection here. I want to add some files. YouTuber guy, YouTuber girl. Using the default settings. And okay, let's do this. So we're going to search this time by YouTuber guy and see if we find any matches. YouTuber guy. And was that .jpg? That was .jpg with an E. So we're searching and we did not find any matches in our two images that we have indexed. So that's cool. That is super cool. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the YouTuber girl. And, oh, whoa. We found a face match. Huh. She looks like Pootie Pie, I guess. That would mean, I don't know. Let's download the file. What does that file look like? Oh, he's in there. Wow, how cool is that, guys? Pootie Pie is in the background of the image there, and so I just saw this girl initially. That's funny. So it found Pootie Pie floating in the background of this picture. Okay, cool. This is going to be a fun tool to use, guys. It works really well, it looks like. Wow, sick. Okay, so sick. Cool. So now I guess we want to create some kind of web interface where we can upload an image to and search for faces, huh? Yeah, that's got to be it. Well, I guess now, so now that we've got our search results, we do need to be able to find a way to get the face from here. So this image ID, how do we get an image from our collection, I guess we need to do. Do we need to store an external image ID? That would be kind of lame, but it'd be okay, I guess. Aws Recognition. How do we get that? How do we derive that original, the S3 object key? We can try doing this list faces. Let's see what happens when we run list faces. It's going to return metadata for faces. Okay. Okay. So we have this image ID, but I think what we're going to need to do is set our external image ID here. And maybe we can do, let's see if we can just do something like this. Let's run this, and we're going to have to I don't want to use US West 2, right? I want to use US East 1. Looks like that's not going to work. Okay, let's just make sure everything's right here. So we're using my credentials. It is in US East 1. The collection ID is YouTubers. Okay, but we don't have the right S3 bucket name. That is YouTuber Faces. Collection ID, YouTubers, PewDiePie.jpg, is that an actual? No, it's not. That file doesn't exist. Okay, so we're able to do this through our command line now, which is good. What do we do anyways? We did index faces there. What I want to do is search faces by image. And I want to give it an external image ID that we can use to derive the S3 location from, but looks like we can't have slashes in here. So I'm going to name it by the original file name. We are going to need to sanitize this file name so that it can be used here without fail. In case, like, maybe if a file name has some weird characters, we're not going to be able to use it. So we're going to need to make sure to sanitize that, remove any of those weird characters, which is fine. Okay. What else do we need to do? We want to upload an image. So I've never done this before with Node, honestly, either. Upload image with Node. Yeah. I don't like this website. Yeah, so we're going to need to create a web server, I guess. And how many downloads does this have in the last day? 847. Maybe we'll trust this guy. Okay, it looks like the uploaded file object. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to do this. So we're going to install two packages. We're going to install Express File Upload, which is going to allow us to upload those files, and then Express, which is a Node web server, because we need a web server to upload our file to. And then I guess to use it, it's going to be this simple, maybe. So in our index.json here, we need to go to the Express docs. Oh no. I guess we launch our app using this here. So I'm going to import these Express and Express file upload and create a new app, and then we're going to add this file upload middleware to our Express app that's going to handle uploaded files. And yeah, to upload files, I guess we're just going to do this. We'll just copy directly. Oh, we don't have let in here yet, I guess. So when we upload the file, this rec.files, is going to have an image in here. And what we want to do then is upload that to S3. So we're going to need to learn how to do that. But first, let's create a form here. Let's see here. And it's going to be real simple. I don't know how we serve a form from Node even. It's been a while since I've been using this. Pug. Template engine. Sure, we can use Pug. I don't know. Ew, no, that's way too gross. Node express serve. You know, we'll just hard code it. We're just going to create a file called upload.html and do the boilerplate code here, body, and then we're going to create a form. Method is going to be post. What is it? Action image upload form. Got to see real quick how we do the image upload. PHP file upload. I mean, no, but it's going to work the same on the front end at least. Here's our form right here, guys. Action is, I think it is upload. No, it's just upload. Method post, encrypt type, multi-part form data. Sure. This is our face to search. Yeah. So there's our form. Now let's serve this file here. App.get. So we're going to get the index file, and we want that to return. Let's see, serve a file from Express. App use Express static. Sure. We'll try this middleware here. And then we're going to, it looks like, create a new directory called public and throw our upload.html in there. And I want to rename this index.html. And now let's run this and see if our server runs, first of all. Nope, doesn't like that. Oh, we need to do that, what is it, app.listen. It's 3000 the port Node or Express uses typically. I don't know. Let's see if we can go to 3000. Hey, okay, cool. So we've got our form. It's a little ugly, but it will do. So we can click here, choose a file. Great. So I want to see, let's make sure real quick we're pointing to /upload is our action, right? And we've got this controller here on the back end that listens to that, to events on that upload. And so we should see, I'm going to put one more console log, uploading file. Let's see if we see any console output here when we upload a file. So I'm going to choose a file. We'll go with this guy and upload that image. Cannot read property MV if undefined. So Oh, this we know that. We know what the issue is there. I think it's odd that we didn't see this console log. I don't know if did I forget to refresh this maybe. But this, when reading the docs, I noticed that this is supposed to be the name of the file, or sorry, the name of the input field. So we're going to copy that face to search name here, and pop that in. Yeah, somewhere on your server. File name. We'll have to figure that one out. So I reran that. Okay. Uploading file works, huh? So now we need to figure out where does this file go. Use the move method to. What is this? Sample file. So this. Okay. So that would be moving to. Right, but we want to. We don't need to move the file anywhere. We just want to search, right? So we are going to use this search faces name thing. Search faces by image thing here. So we're going to create a function called search by image, and that's going to be the image that we pass in there. This way, code's not so ugly. We did see that, yeah, you don't add an external image ID to that. We search in this collection, and we did see that you can search image by image recognition. We did see that you can search by an image, and you don't have to upload to S3 if you don't want to. And that's what we want to do because it's going to be a little faster. We don't have to deal with the latency of uploading to S3 first. Come on, I want Aws Recognition Node SDK, I think. Yeah, maybe. Whatever. Search faces in a collection. Yeah. Maybe. Finding these docs is, man, I hate these docs. Okay. From a local file system, recognition, image operations can analyze image supplied as image bytes or as images stored. Okay, so we need to make it as bytes. Within image, you specify the bytes property to pass the base 64 encoded image. So we're going to do, instead of image, we're going to do bytes. Following common AWS SDKs automatically base 64 encoded images, and you do not need to encode image bytes prior to calling the API. So that's good. With image, new image, with bytes. I want to see this. I want to see it in the Node SDK, though. We want to do search faces here, and so you can search by face ID, huh? We want search faces by image. Sorry. Search faces by image. Here we are. So this is using the S3 bucket option, and this one here is using on your, what does this say there? What is that BEH over here? Behalf, okay. So we create a new buffer, huh? The input image is a basic 64 encoded bytes or an SD object. Blob of image bytes up to 5 megabytes. Okay, we'll give this a shot. I am not sure. Oh, what we can do is just pop a... So we're not going to need to move this onto our file system. We are going to search by image. This is our uploaded image. And we can debug here. So I'm going to run the debugger with a breakpoint here and see if we can't... Oh man, bad option exposes debug. Probably because we're on a weird version of Node, I don't know. Let's see what version of Node we are running. 695. Just make sure that's the same node IntelliJ is trying to use. What is this? User local bin node. User local bin node. So it's trying to use 9. So maybe we need to configure Node to be on version 9 or something. It already thinks it's 9. What if we used a different version of Node? 695, for instance. Maybe that'll work better. I don't know. Okay, cool. Our debugger's listening. Okay, so let's upload that file then. Upload image. Okay, we have our uploaded image here. It's an object with some data here. Create buffer from, what kind of object is this? Dealing with objects, and Node is kind of weird because the weak typing, I don't know how to turn this into a buffer very easily. It has this move function, it has data, buffer from uploaded image node. So we have a buffer image.resize. Oh. Let's see, do we have a buffer on here? If we go file uploaded image.buffer. No, we don't have that. We have this data here. Oh, data.buffer. Look at that. Maybe that will be it. Okay, so we're going to give it that image. And our bytes here. Oh, we had that command open somewhere. Bytes is new buffer. So we pass that buffer straight to it. Alright, so let's see what happens here. I've got to restart this. I'm going to disable the debugger for now. And let's try and upload a file here. YouTuber guy. Upload image. Okay, we're uploading, and we did get something. It says unexpected key detection. Okay, that's fine. We're just going to search using collection ID and image, I think. Hopefully these have default values. we're going to have to refresh our server and go back maybe. Okay, what do we find here? So we found, oh nice, look at that. It did work, guys. We got it. It found some similar faces in here because PewDiePie's in the background there, and we have some PewDiePie images. Now I guess we want to display those images, huh? So we want to post and then display the images. So to do that, remember when we indexed the faces, we need to specify some kind of foreign key so that we can get those, I think. Get face images from, unless we don't have to. It would be great if Aws Recognition had some way to see the face, but get face matches, yeah. But maybe not. We might need to have some kind of tag here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's do index faces. Except this time we are going to specify an external image ID. If we can find how do we index? No. Storing faces in a face collection. There was that external. Okay, it's called external image ID. And so we're going to make the external image ID the name of that object in our bucket. I think if I were doing this, or probably later as an enhancement, I'm going to create IDs for the images that I manage in my server somehow, so that it's not tied directly to the bucket and object name, but maybe when we upload an image and index the faces in there, we create a unique ID for that image and store the S3 bucket and object key with that ID somehow. Yeah. So, but for now, we're just going to use the name here of that object. So, how does this look? Do we put it here? No. How do we use that? Adding faces to a collection. Okay, it's a separate argument here. So let's get rid of that. External image ID, and we want it to be named the same as our file name. So that's good. So now, if we search, we are going to see our external image ID here. And we could use that to get the image from S3. Okay, so that's looking good then. What does this look like here? We want to do, so we search here and data comes back. We console log out the data. And we want to go through data dot face matches. Whoa, it auto-populated. That's cool. And we're gonna filter by those match dot external image ID. Does not equal undefined, because we have some images in here floating around. Man. We have some images floating around without external image IDs, so I just don't want that to hamper our efforts here. Hinder our efforts. And then for each of those, or sorry, I guess we're going to map those to, what do we have here? We have, so we have, is this the same content? Face matches, we want to map it to face dot external image ID, and that's going to give us the image.face.external image ID. And then we're going to take that and map it to our S3 object. Yeah, let's see. So now that we've got that external image ID, that's going to be just the object key. So we want to call, let's see, first off we want to make this public if it's not already. Yeah, see, it's not public, so we want to go into YouTuber faces here, set some permissions, make it public. We don't need any of that. We just want to be able to read the object. So now if we went here, okay, now we can see that. Everybody can see that. Let's do that for all the images in here if we can. Public access. How do we make all the bucket policy to make all objects public? Okay. We'll see if this guy's bucket policy works to make everything public. What was this called? This is called YouTuber Faces. Yep. And let's go see that, other than YouTuber Girl here, that anything is public. Okay, cool. So we can get that now. Okay, so now what we need to do is transcribe our external image ID, which is going to be just this last portion here of this URL. We want to return that to the front end so that we can print out the images that we find. So all we need to do here is take this external image ID is going to be the S3 object key, and the S3 object key we are just going to pop at the end of this. So okay, and then we are going to return that result. So this is going to be a list of links to those S3 objects. If there's an error here, we're going to handle that error. And we're going to return an empty array. Yeah, we're going to need to use a callback here, though. We're going to call back with an empty array here. And we would call back with the results of this. So image matches, and we're going to call back with those, and that's going to be an array because we mapped our data down to an array of these links. Okay, so now we are going to send a response. Express send response. That's res.send, I guess, and express. So what we'll do is res.send the results. Oh no, sorry. What we need to do is call our function with that callback. Images. And send with those images. Send those images to the front end. I'll get sloppy. Okay, so let's restart our server and see what happens. So we go to localhost here. And cannot read property data of undefined because we didn't choose a file. So that would be something you'd want to handle, but I don't want to handle it right now. Sorry, that guy doesn't have any other images. Let's search for PewDiePie. Let's look at our output here. Sorry, in our server. So we did find face matches. Let's just put a breakpoint here and enable the breakpoints again. And let's submit that form again. Okay. So image match is an empty array, which is unfortunate. What does data look like? Data has these face matches in here. So we do data.face matches return match. Okay. So it's actually match dot face dot external image ID. So I'm gonna have to restart our server here. Disable breakpoints because we hope it's gonna work this time. Hey, there are our images with those faces. This is cool. Let's just make sure this link works really quick. Alright, so that's a link. On our front end here, let's see. Let's map these to image tags maybe. Image, source. And this is going off screen here maybe for you, but I'm just closing this tag. Let's see if that is enough. We might need to add some HTML markup, some additional HTML markup. Okay, still an array, so what do we want? So we have these images. Maybe we don't want to do that here. Maybe we can do that. So this function is just going to return an array. And then in our controller here, we'll build the HTML, I guess. So we'll do, paste that there for now. HTML is going to equal HTML body. No, it's going to be not a constant. At the end here, we are going to close body, close HTML. Duplicate declaration. And in the middle there, we want to sandwich these. So we're going to do images.forEach, image source, and just plug this image source right there. HTML equals HTML plus. Yeah. I'm so used to using the ES6 syntax, but I don't know how to configure that with IntelliJ or WebStorm right now, which is too bad. So for each of the images, I'm just going to concatenate that image to this HTML, and then we're going to close off the HTML. So let's restart our server, resubmit our form here. Ooh, broken. Images.forEach is not a function. Just gotta capitalize that E probably. Alright, so let's upload a file. PewDiePie. Upload image. Oh, we're still sending this images down. Hey, I found him. That's awesome. Let's do another one. So let's do index faces. Let's see, YouTuber girl. This is going to be search faces by image, but we want to index the face. Index faces. And then we need to add this external image ID, which matches. Let's see if that works. That worked. And then we're also going to do that for YouTuber girl. Oh. If that's an image, it is an image. So let's go ahead now then and match. Let's search for YouTuber girl this time. And now we found images of her, and then also images, PewDiePie is also in the background there, but also images of PewDiePie because that image had PewDiePie in it. Yeah, our service is kind of working now, guys. We've got facial recognition, so that is exciting. So future enhancements, things like that. Obviously, the management of these images is pretty bad. So like I said, I would create unique IDs for each image and store the S3 object path in that, like related to that ID probably. Also create some kind of upload tool or web crawler that would get these images and store them in S3 and then index the faces automatically, because obviously we don't want to run index faces for every face image. We're going to index. What else is new? So I think we can also eventually, we could store the face because I think we have two faces in here. We could associate the face, which has a face ID, to whoever this person actually is. That could be useful. What else do we have in here? Yeah, and then obviously make everything pretty. The form's really ugly right now. Let's just real quick, let's search for YouTuber guy. Yeah, but it works flawlessly. It's fast. I'm pretty happy with it, actually, guys. It only took us about an hour and a half, and about 20 minutes of that or so was probably struggling with figuring out the usage of the command line interface, and which it came down to the bucket not being in the same region. So I apologize for that, guys. Hopefully you skipped through that part of the video. If you didn't, these videos are all live, and I do recommend skipping around to whatever you need from the video. So if I'm going over, if I'm scratching my head trying to figure out something live, feel free to skip ahead, guys. I don't want to waste your time. I want you guys to get the most out of these videos as you possibly can. So I hope you enjoyed the content today, guys. Thanks again for watching. As always, if you liked the videos, please go ahead and click subscribe below. I'd appreciate it. It motivates me. It's fun. I like doing these videos, so we're going to keep doing them regardless. But thanks for watching, guys. If you ever have any feedback or suggestions, leave those below as well in a comment. If you want some video made for you, we're going to do that. Louise, if you're still listening, that PHP FPM video is going to come out hopefully this week, but I do have a lot going on this week, so if not, probably by the weekend. So thanks for watching again, guys. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Have a good one.